Hey everybody, welcome to the final episode of the 12 gorgeous paper clips of 2018. Bittersweet for me today, this is the final one. And as I was going through all my paper clips, I realized that I did not have a shaker card on there, or like a paper clip with a shaker element. So I thought, you know what? Perfect timing. AmiraInOz December kit had a lot of shaker elements, or these Nuvo confetti elements, and I thought perfect element for shaker cards. Now the stamp I'm using for December is stamp number 55, all these words, and I had already colored them in from my previous video with the art journal layout, and so here they are right here. Because she's holding a star, I thought it would be lovely to have the paper clip in the shape of a star for December. So what I'm doing here is I've got my largest stitch star die, and I'm just taping it at the top there, bringing in my big shot, and I'm placing the top cutting board just at the tip where I want the star to die cut, and allowing the top to still be joined so that it can thread through the large paper clip. Threading it through now, and I always make sure that I have the large loops facing towards the left, and I'm just adding double-sided tape to one side for that instant grab, but as we know, sometimes double-sided tape lets go after a couple of years, so I always add that PVA glue to strengthen that bond. Once it's burnished, I go back to the original size of the star that I used, and I cut that out of glitter cardstock. So that is going to be the main element that everyone sees on the paper clip. I then grab not the smallest star, but the second smallest star. You want a window large enough for you to see the shaker elements on the inside shaking, coming and going. So yeah, not the smallest star, but maybe the second smallest, or I think that was the third smallest even. So I went ahead and taped that on and then die cut out the window. I wanted the background to be glittery so that when the shaker mix was settled at the bottom, you could still see glitter in the background. So I used one of the star dies to cut that out of a white glitter cardstock. Next, it's time to make the walls that contain the shaker mix. I am reaching for glitter foam, and I'm actually making two frames which will sit on top of each other to give some height and allow the shaker contacts to mix freely. You can see me doing it here. I used the size of the star that I cut the window out of and another star that was two sizes bigger to make the smaller wall. And I used that larger die and one that was two sizes too bigger than that to make the next wall. And you can see what I'm doing here. I am adding some PVA glue to attach the two walls, so to speak, together, and then to the glitter cardstock at the bottom. I did this with the PVA glue at first, and I gave it plenty of time to dry, but maybe I didn't give it enough time to dry. Maybe I was a bit too hasty. So what I ended up doing was going back and using hot glue to actually glue them together. Perhaps the nature of the glitter cardstock is one where you can't use PVA glue. So this is where you need to assess your tools and see which glue is the best to use to adhere. Time to add some acetate. I'm using this acetate from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm using a larger star die that will allow me about 1/4 of an inch to adhere it down. Now acetate's not easy to cut through the big shot, but it gives you an impression, and I go ahead and cut it out with my scissors. Just showing you here that the wet glue was still pretty wet and sliding all over the place, so I decided to go ahead and use the hot glue to adhere it down so it wouldn't move and I could get on with my project. So that's my thick sandwich there, and I think the hot glue is really good because it also gave a little bit of bulk and a little bit of height. I'm now attaching the acetate down. Now I'm just going to try and make sure that everything lines up so that you don't see the green on the inside. What I did realize with the star was not in the right position. I did cut the top star to a certain position so that it was thicker on the top than it was at the bottom, and I remembered that a little later on. That's why they're not lining up very well here. I was also fussing about with where I was going to put the girl, but I put that aside for now and started making my shaker mix. So for the shaker mix, I was going to use the Nuvo confetti. I have them in stars and I have them in red circles. I also wanted some sequins in the mix, some larger elements to shake around in there. So I go ahead and grab some of those. Applied hot glue around the top of the frame there, and then put my lid on top, and it works perfectly. It's nice and secure, and it's a beautiful raised element. Now I need to design the rest of the paper clips so that it does have the Gorjuss girl on there. I'm reaching for this embellishment pack that is on my desk. This is the Kaisercraft Noel embellishment kit from Auntie Vera's December kit, and I'm just grasping at straws here, really. I kind of didn't know where to go after I had made the shaker element, so I'm just playing here and seeing what I want to do. I need to have a sentiment on this card, so I'm just trying a few different things. It then feels right when I've put this joyful sentiment on, so that's the sentiment that I wanted to impart with this paperclip and for this time of the year. I also decided to put the girl behind the star. I think that she looks perfect there, and I felt that the top right and the top left were very exposed and they needed elements to go on there, so it fit better when she went behind the star than on top of the star. She goes down with hot glue. Then it's time to line up the star and put that shaker element on, once again with hot glue. The sentiment goes on next. And now all that's left is that top left-hand side. It felt a little bit empty to me, so I wondered what I was going to put there, and I tried all these different elements from that Noel ephemera pack, but it just didn't work. I did love having that mistletoe. I thought that was cute, so I put that on the tip of the star. My eye caught this pack of journal cards that I've had on my desk for some time, and I thought it'd be so cute to have a cat there. And so I decided to put this kitty, which looks like my Russian blue. She's kind of cheeky and she's kind of winking at the girl and winking at you. So yeah, I decided to put this cat there, and it's just so perfect. I am a cat person, and cats bring me a lot of joy. So the cat went on there, and it was a perfect element to fill in that empty space. I was pretty happy with this. I thought I was done, but of course that little voice inside thinks that you just need to add one more thing. So I decided to go for those Nuvo confetti circles and stars to add a little bit of shine and glitter to the top of the card. I'll let you decide whether that's one step too further. Sometimes I think it's one step too much, and sometimes I think, yeah, it's fine. It was pretty boring being just all blue. I think I'm gonna have this battle all the days of my life, when to go that extra step and when to pull it back. But other than that, this is the paperclip for December. This is the one that finishes off the whole series and the collection. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a final flip through of all the paper clips. I'm going to do that in a separate video. Don't forget to go ahead and check out my Gorjuss mini art journal series if you haven't done that already. It's been an absolute ball bringing you both these series this year. I am not continuing it next year. Next year is going to be very different for me. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be using Gorjuss girls in my projects. I definitely will. So stay tuned to an exciting change to my channel in 2019.